Good day fellows, considering that it's Halloween, I decided to make a special video today about Bigfoot, hope y'all can enjoy. Was hiking a few miles in the mountains and kept hearing tree knocks. Single and double knocks. I was the last person on the mountain and thought I heard a tree creak, and when I turned around I locked eyes with this thing. What does it look like to you guys? Zoomed in and played with exposure levels. EQ'd. It looks to me that you have to spend more than $5 on a phone. It's still shots from a video on my iPhone. I was in awe and sort of in shock, so it's not perfect. I wish I had a nice camera with me. It was so surreal. When I turned around it was like my vision tunneled right at this thing, and the closest feeling I can compare it to is like the awe or anxiety from when you eat mushrooms and the psychedelic trip is just starting to affect your consciousness. Like a mix of awe and terror. Don't lie, this is potato quality. Here's the video.
Damn.
Do you think the Sasquatch was using infrasound on you, or do you think it was the visual stimuli of seeing a familiar predator which triggered the fear response? Interesting hypothesis. One thing I noticed is it was very quiet in the woods. No birds, no bugs. I was the last one in the hiking group. I had met an Asian couple earlier and we were sort of hiking together. I fell back and was just taking pictures and singing songs and enjoying the scenery. Earlier that day on the hike up, I had heard multiple tree knocks. A set of one knock followed by a set of two knocks. I didn't want to get my hopes up because I love the topic of Bigfoot and was secretly hoping to see one, as I was in the middle of the Cascades and that's a huge hotspots for these things. But I had heard the knocks and was pretty excited. But that was hours and hours before this sighting happened. Anyway, I was walking and I could have sworn I had heard footsteps behind me, sort of mirroring my steps. I stopped and turned around really quick but saw nothing. Walked a few more steps and heard wood creak, like as if you slowly stepped on a creaky wood floor. I stopped and turned around and there it was. I got like almost tunnel vision. It was as if my vision solely focused on this thing and everything in my periphery was blurry, everything was out of focus except for this thing. It was unbelievable, really. I couldn't believe what I was seeing and stared at it for what seemed like a long time. Then I got my phone out while keeping eye contact and took that video. It could have been infrasound because I had never felt that way when looking at any predator. In fact, I have never felt that emotion in my life until that moment. Spending a week in the Cascades has convinced me beyond a doubt that there are things out there in the wilderness that we haven't discovered or understand yet. There is so much wild land out there. So many untouched areas. There could be anything out there. Me too. That's one. If you heard tree knocks, it was following you. Had a few similar experiences, just never managed to see one. I couldn't believe it. First time going up to the Cascades, and after spending countless years just fascinated by this topic, the tree knocks were so clear. It was such a loud noise. I heard individuals knocks maybe a few times and then basically a double knock, one quickly after another. It was amazing to hear. These knocks were around 1:30 p.m. But after I took the video at 5:30, and then proceeded to immediately get lost for an hour, I heard the knocks sporadically behind but was so focused on trying to find the trail that I wasn't even really paying attention to them. Being lost on that mountain was true terror. It was a 2-hour hike just to get down from the location where I got lost, and it was getting dark fast. I really do believe the Sasquatch helped me find the trail because the last tree knock was so loud and clear. Off to my right I just instinctively went left to steer away from the sound. And about 100 yards to the left I found the trail. If I hadn't turned left when I did, I would have gotten to basically a cliff on the mountain and would have to turn around and climb back up, as there was no way to slide down that way anymore. I have goosebumps just thinking about it. It's all subjective and maybe my fear and adrenaline-filled brain was making stuff up, but this is what happened to me. Can't prove it to anyone but myself. Pic related. Also saw this on a tree about 9 feet up. My hiking poles are outstretched and I'm 6 foot tall, so whatever did that to the tree was over 8 to 9 feet tall. It almost looks like a bear just scratched out a chunk of the tree. Just found it cool because it was so high up. Clear sagittal crest and broad shoulders. 100% squatch. Doesn't move much, does he? I suspect you got some nice footage of a log. Why did you not keep filming long enough to see if it did anything? While y'all nodgers whoopin' and hollerin' over that log, actual Bigfoot is down yonder. Could be man. I should have walked up to it, but I was starting to feel uneasy. Even if it is a log, however, I still heard multiple tree knocks that day and felt watched when I was lost up there. All in all, it was a very interesting experience, and exploring the Cascades has left me convinced that there are magical things on those mountains. The entire place has a very special, magical energy to it. 10 out of 10 would visit again. I don't know, man, I don't know. It was overwhelming and I was in such a strange state of shock or awe. It was like my whole being crystallized and I felt like I was in a trance. The video and pictures from it are piss poor, I know, and it shouldn't be considered proof because I don't want to lie about this or convince anyone or make any money or shit like that. It's just a little piece of the whole story that happened to me up there, and I was lucky to force myself to even get my phone out because I wasn't even thinking about it. I wish I had come closer and filmed longer. I really don't know why I stopped it. I can't explain it. It was such a bizarre feeling. I'd never felt like that before.